Good afternoon, Speed Gaming, and welcome to some more Link to the Past randomizer action. Today we have Group D with an open hard race between Tylersalt and Matkap. My name is Tracy M. With me today is Goron, 1988. How are you doing, Goron?
I'm doing well. So this is open hard, 48 heart pieces, 5 heart containers, so a lot more heart pieces here. Our runners are capped at 3 swords and only have green mail throughout all of this and non-progressive bows. So just we'll show what our runners, how good they are really. And they are really good runners here, Tylersalt and Matkap, so it should be a good race.
I think one of my previous partners called this open heart surgery because of all the heart pieces. So I think there are 48 of them in the pool. So we're going to be seeing a lot of heart pieces in this race because of that mode. But hey, we got 2 mushrooms on our hash here, so maybe that means the mushroom will mean something because that's what that always means.
Oh, can I not have a fetch quest, please? Please?
All right, here we go. See, there's the heart piece right away from Matkap.
47 to go.
And there's one for Tylersalt. Yay!
46 to go.
2 heart pieces. Matkap is going to at least do the uncle check to see if there's anything there. Maybe continues into the escape if he can get a good weapon.
Yep.
And I did not catch that map check at all.
Yeah, so Tylersalt's map check was Crystal, Eastern, and Desert, Pendant, Red Pendant, Hera, was what I counted. Tree pull on Matkap's side, as Matkap is going into Hyrule Castle Well, was 20 rupees. So Matkap is checking Hyrule Castle Well at the very least, whilst Tylersalt is probably going to give us a Lumberjack Ledge and then a Lost Woods check.
I imagine Tylersalt probably kills one more enemy to get another tree pull just for a little bit of extra money. And nothing in the uncle area to help out. And I missed what that item was there on Lumberjack, but I assume it was nothing since Cat is not going crazy over it.
Okay.
Matkap might check it as well. We'll see. Yeah, a heart piece. Of course it's a heart piece, because everything's a heart piece.
I was wondering sometime whether we could just have a mode where the point is to collect all the heart pieces, and on Tylersalt's side, the mushroom spot had the flute. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe that's called Triforce Hunt. Just collect all the Triforce pieces. It's kind of the same thing. Hey, look, another heart piece. But yeah, finding the flute before going into Kakariko is really nice, because then you can just activate it while you're there. It's one of those, the bottle is a really nice thing to have before Kakariko. Every once in a while, you could get like a powder plus hammer to be able to do Magic Bat early on.
Yeah, so both our runners having roughly the same knowledge. I don't believe Matkap hasn't checked Lumberjack Ledge, so won't have that knowledge just yet, but we'll see.
Yep. Yeah, he might be of the school of thought, which is check it when you have boots, check it with the boots checks, because you can't get the item without the boots anyway.
And this is Tylersalt's flute activation, so, well.
Yeah, no bombs, so it makes sense. Going to activate this flute, probably going to check the back of Tavern to see if that's bombs, and if it's not, has more than enough of money to buy bombs.
Yeah.
I might have done Bottle Vendor before the flute activation, just in case that was some very expensive bombs, but in the end, I mean, this will be fine.
And Matkap is going the same way.
It's just more money, so we're going to have to buy bombs.
Yep.
I'll see if Matkap chooses to talk to the Bottle Vendor first, or if he also does the same thing as Tylersalt. Money not going to be an issue until we start thinking about Zora, if that becomes on the table.
I mean, I wasn't thinking about Zora until you just said about it, so now I'm thinking about Zora. And I think subliminally everybody's now thinking about Zora.
I think when this early in a race, you're just always kind of have that in the back of your mind, but you're not really going to push it until you have flippers, or maybe glove, if that puts it in logic. And then if it's just glove putting it in logic, you're probably not thinking about it too hard until, again, you get those
Yeah.
slippers, or you get enough money, or like boots to do a water walk to make it really fast and
Yeah.
efficient. So it's one of those things that it's early enough that you're still thinking about money, but you don't have to worry about it too much. You've got the enough money to do the early checks. You know about the tree pull if you absolutely have to use it. We did get a sword on the bottle vendor. Hey, look, we have a bottle now.
And Kakariko, well, is more like medallion well. Bombos and ether.
Did Matkap just cut? Oh boy, we're gonna get boots soon. We had a Moon Pearl sitting in the library. That's really interesting. Matkap, I don't think did any. Just didn't go back into Kakariko. Maybe he's gonna try and do this south to north. Or okay, it's just gonna flute back there. No, he's not gonna flute back there. Just okay. Did he not get the sword even? This is
not as much as I've seen.
This is not a play I've ever seen before.
And
where you're already in Kakariko and you buy bombs and then you just leave. This is a new one on me. I've never seen this before. So we'll get to see what Sick Kid has because Tylersalt found that bottle.
Yep. Yeah, so just answering chat, there are no progressive bows in these settings.
Right, we're gonna get silvers are gonna be separate from the regular bow, as it should be. I know a lot of people don't agree with me on that one, but why are there two bows when there's not two of everything else?
So Matkap going to be using bombs in Mini Moldorm Cave.
Yeah, not a good start. And it's a little tricky over here. Okay, I did it just fine, but it's a little tricky when you have to throw it into that middle section. Okay, it has one bomb left for Ice Rod Cave, should he decide to go there.
So 20 rupees, another piece of heart, another piece of heart.
A glove, yay.
A glove, and mitts.
Glove and mitts, okay. Okay, game. Calm down now.
it's the strength and love cave at the moment.
That's pretty crazy. Okay, so of significance, we kind of glossed over that Moon Pearl sitting there in the library. I am a big fan of Moon Pearl on the library because that guarantees we're getting boots and we're getting boots early. So both runners will have seen that. It could be right here in back of Escape.
Yep, so first chest back of Escape is a key.
Yeah, and there they are. There's the boots. So this'll send Matkap back to Kakariko, I assume, by way of the library. Tylersalt is gonna have access to this very shortly. We'll get this glove right now. Of note, there was also a small key back there, so you couldn't get to it from the front unless you stole the key and abandoned the chests in Zelda Cell.
But yeah, I mean, this just means that, like, 7 minutes in, our runners pretty much have Dark World access. Well, Matkap will
but
soon.
Really awful Dark World access, because Mitt's Dark World access is kind of awful.
Yeah, true.
Although Matkap is going to want to get that sword, though, if nothing else. Okay, Tylersalt fluting away is going to do Ice Rod Cave. It's a little faster to flute there when you can do it like this.
Yep.
And it wouldn't surprise me if he saved and quit into Back of Escape right after this.
Blue Boomerang in King's Tomb. Does that mean that it's just swapped? The cape is probably at the front of Escape, right?
I mean, yeah, that could be, and if it is there, maybe there's something useful behind it. Mac is gonna go over to Eastern instead of heading over to Dark World again without that sword. Does still need to actually go pick up the Moon Pearl.
Yeah.
I'm a little surprised. To me, it feels like the thing to do is go get your Moon Pearl and then go north and do the rest of the Kakariko checks and take that into Dark World.
Yeah. I mean, Matkap still doesn't have a sword, so maybe that's what he's looking for?
Yeah, maybe. And nothing of note back there in Sa's closet. Plenty of money now between the two runners, because Tylersalt got a 300 somewhere in Kakariko, so money issues are no longer a thing. Okay, and now Matkap is going to finish up Kakariko with the library pickup. Tylersalt's probably just going to flute right over there, grab his Moon Pearl, and make a decision from there. Oh, he's going to do these boost checks first. I think this is, yeah, do the King's Tomb and the Bonk Rocks, which we know, I think we got a boomerang between the two locations, so.
A boomerang, I believe, here in King's Tomb, and a piece of heart in Bonk Rocks. And now Matkap probably has all the medallions he'll need for the game. We'll see when we see what Misery Maya and Turtle Rock are and what medallions they need.
Yeah, let's see. Tylersalt gonna follow the Bonk Rocks and... Oh yeah, Matkap needs to go grab this Moon Pearl.
Yep. And then it's Village of Outcasts.
Then has choices. Not a lot of choices, really. I mean, you could do a little bit... There's very little you can do on the mountain. Only one logical check. But... So Village of Outcasts just seems like the right place to go. And then, of course, we have the... Thieves Town situation, which of course, without a hammer, do you want to bet on Thieves Town? If it's a crystal, if it's a pendant, what do you do? And Matkap wants to do the mountain first, which is interesting. The nice thing here is you get the save quit point. A little less relevant to have that save quit point with the flute. 2 items we can get here, one in logic, and we can kind of stare longingly at the one on Spec Rock Cave.
Just looking at the item layout, I mean, Misery Ma is... Yeah, you could possibly
go there now.
Get into Misery Mire, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see the runners making a Misery Mire play right now, but having the info would not be a terrible thing. Let's see. Green Pendant, Skull Woods. Pendant, Thieves Town. Red Crystals at Turtle Rock and Ice Palace. Shout out to Tylersalt to actually leaving up the map long enough for me to read it. Most players don't do that.
And the old man gives Matkap a shield.
And Matkap with 0 bombs is going to buy some. So I think the decision as far as Thieves Town goes is you just don't do it right now. I mean, you do the front 4 because that's a pretty quick check. But it's a pendant, so you hope you get 3 items and never have to go to the back. Oh, Tyler. Kind of the same thing with Skull Woods here. You hope you get your 2 items quickly and never have to go to the back. We can't go to the back right now, no Fire Rod.
Yeah.
Oh, Matkap hasn't even done blinds. Oh my god. Okay. I completely missed that there were silvers there. Thankfully, I was the only one who missed it that matters. We have, with Kif doing the tracking today. Kif didn't miss those. Shoutouts to Kif. Trackers always are MVPs.
Definitely. So Tylersalt going to be doing the first areas in Skullwoods.
Yep, and you often do the middle to hopefully either get a key from the big key chest or you can steal the key.
Yep. Getting the big key.
And Matkap, I think, is trying to delay the Dark World, hoping to maybe score a hammer to make the Thieves Town decision a little bit more easy. But of course, we're going to get, with it being a pendant, I don't think he has to worry so much about it. We'll probably, again, just hit the front 4. We did get 1 item there in Skullwoods with those bombs. Another small key. A compass. So 1 more shot. Oh, we're gonna do some fake flippering. This is interesting.
Yep, 500.
Yep, really doesn't want to go to Village of Outcasts with this loadout, and that is not a good death from Tylersalt. Pinball Room is really annoying to get back to. And is in fact going to go the short way, which is going to use up this key. But I don't believe he had to steal the key with the pot, so this should be fine. There's a good chance this is just a key anyway. No, it's Peace Heart. It is the second item, so Unless Ped becomes relevant, or Green Pendant becomes relevant, we're never coming back here anyway.
Yeah. And as much as I saw nothing of the under the bridge checks for Matkap here, so
Yeah, I missed it
well.
too. Oh, there's a red boomerang that we're never picking up on the island. I like a red boomerang, but not enough to go that far out of the way for it.
So King Zora is in logic from everything that I can
Yes.
fathom.
It is because of the myths, but you know, you'd rather do it with these other checks if you can, you know, do it a little more efficiently.
Yeah. Just to make sure I remember in my head correctly, and also to point that out because, again, a lot of these on Matkap side are out of logic checks needing the flippers, but this one specifically, ooh, the mirror is in
Mirror is good.
Yeah.
A little unfortunate that he had already gone kind of towards Graveyard Ledge for that check on the bumper ledge. So a little out of the way to come back for that check. We'll see if he chooses to do it. Let's see what he does in Thieves Town. First of all, we'll see what we got. We have a compass as our first chest. That's not promising for... not ideal. You want to get 3 items in front and just never come back. That's 1 item.
Yep. Matkap is now doing Marshed, so we'll see what the 2 items are here. And I saw Ether.
I saw Ether as well. I mean, I kind of like this check. I mean, it's a relatively quick check. The problem is, like, Tylersalt's going to do this with the mirror. And might even be able to do Desert if we find a fire source. Okay, we got 1 more shot at an item. Tylesalt's probably just going to take a Death Warp with this health, even though he has the mirror. So, yeah, that's a piece of heart. So, 2 item front. Nothing really to write home about.
Yeah, so...
And it's pendant, so I don't think you don't go to the back here.
Yeah,
Cat
you
just
don't.
really doesn't... I guess he hasn't done Spec Rock Cave. This is the in-logic mountain check, too.
Yep. So, Spec Rock Cave has a piece of heart. Chess
Figures.
Game has 50 rupees and 10 arrows.
10 arrows. Well, the 10 arrows are the item, but yeah. Yeah, so Tylersalt probably just keeps going south. Maybe even does Smiths. He could do the dig game and and go back up. Pretty easy to route that in when you have mirror this early. Let's see if Matkap chooses to do any of Skullwoods. We'll save time if he doesn't, because there was nothing interesting there. Yeah, going straight to village.
Yep, so... Yeah, Tylersalt is now going for dig game. And I think this routing with a ton, like Hype Cave, Cave 45.
Yeah, we'll see if he grabs the Smith in the purple chest on this route. I kind of like to do... I like that play with the Mitts Dark World Axis. You can just grab the Smith, turn him in with the mirror. I like it with the mirror. I like it less without the mirror. Yes. I mean, you can get the 1 Smith back pretty easily, and then the purple chest is just kind of hanging out there. But yep, he's gonna grab. Yep, he's gonna do this. We can't do Hammer Pegs. Hammer Pegs is gonna be forever orphaned, at least for now.
I mean, yeah, pretty much. Neither of our runners have powders, so they can't do... Well, Tylersalt can't do Magic Bat. So there would be Magic Bat as well as Hammer Pegs here.
Yeah, I mean, you can pair them together. It's not ideal, because one's in the Dark World, one's in the Light World. But if you can manage to come here... Like, if you're down to those 2 things, you might put them together by going there in the Dark World. And just bombs on the Smith. I think we're going to see a purple chest pickup, which Tylersalt will have to drag for a little bit because of the... he's got 1 more mirror check to go, but once he checks Cave 45, he can leave and use the purple chest trick that allows... where are we going first?
Bumper Ledge, maybe?
I thought he checked Bumper Ledge, and he's going to lose that chest if he does Graveyard Ledge. So... Maybe it's just resigned to the fact that he'll now have to pick up the chest again. Yeah, yeah. The purple chest is gonna disappear. It'll go poof. Not that we can see it go poof.
No.
Bye
Anything
bye,
but
purple chest.
anything but the purple chest.
Matkap's gonna do this a little more efficiently because he's already got that mirror before heading over here.
So only 20 rupees on Graveyard Ledge.
And I guess he never checked Lumberjack, so this might be the opportunity to do that right now.
Yep. Ah. Well,
Okay, now Tylersalt, I assume, is gonna pick up the reincarnated purple chest.
It didn't move too far.
No, it's yeah, I just kind of went one screen over.
Yeah. So, yeah, Matkap about to do Graveyard Ledge. So Tylersalt will be doing, well, the Stumpy Jack, K45, Hype Cave, then down to Purple Chest. I have a feeling like a hammer is soon.
Okay, K45 giving us Quake, so medallions are not going to be an issue in this seat. Quake might be irrelevant, though. We already know that Misery Mire is Ether, and who knows what Turtle Rock is.
Yep.
Okay, now if Tylersalt wants to, he can leave the chest behind. Like a little surprise he hasn't already. There we go. Hey, a shield. Everybody's favorite.
Yep, indeed everybody's favorite. I see no issues with shields here.
I personally have no problem with picking up a shield, but I don't go out of my way to pick them up. So, you know, if I just happen to get one on path, it's fine. Matkap is going to check out Desert. This is an interesting play. Can't finish it because we don't have a fire source. But we can do all of the front. So it's, you know, get your 2 items. At the very worst, you're getting your big key out of the way. You don't have to worry about getting that later.
Ooh, flippers
on purple chest. And those are hard required since we do have to do Swamp Palace. Also, that gets us access to East Dark World. So, you know, a pod play could happen. And, ooh, this is interesting. Hammerless, we're gonna go do Hammerless Swamp for 1 item. I mean, if you're gonna do it, this is the time to do it, because you're right here.
Yeah.
No items yet for Matkap, just the 2 keys. A map. So at least 1 item over on the right side, and possibly an item on Landmo.
Yeah, so Tylersalt is going into Swamp Palace.
I like the ether use here. It's a pretty quick way of doing that. Okay, so we definitely have an item on Landmo. But will the game give us a fire source to go get that? No, but we do get a master sword, so that's nice.
Definitely makes a lot of fights a lot easier having that master sword.
Oh, baby, that is an item. A hookshot in the first chest of Swamp. And Tylersalt a little upset because, yay, hookshot, but I can't go any further in Swamp Palace because I don't have a hammer. So it'd be really be interesting where this hammer is. We're gonna see Hype Cave now. This could be a hammer here. Also gives Tylersalt access to East Death Mountain.
Yeah. I mean, I think this is really good for Tylersalt.
I do too.
Ooh, and another sword.
And a bow. Oh, wow.
Oh.
Okay, so do you just rush Pod Eastern now? I mean, you might not be able to finish Pod because no hammer, but that's a lot of checks you can do right now.
I mean, I think it's Death Mountain for density here.
Yeah, but that's the only dungeon we can do on Death Mountain. We can't even do the dungeon on Death Mountain Terror. We need a hammer. No, we can do it with Mirror, but it's still a pendant, so... Tylersalt hasn't checked this out, so he's gonna see a boomerang and maybe pick it up? See if he likes red boomerangs. Well, I think he mirrored in the spot that guaranteed he was picking it up.
Yeah.
It's gonna do the Zora checks now.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Ice Palace
I
is
don't-
also in play.
I don't love this because that mirror portal, now if he wants to go do pod, has to go all the way back around again. We know Zora's nothing. I think this is even the fairy gives us just a B. So this might be go to mountain first to try and find that hammer. Looks like Matkap is now gonna do all these mitts checks things that Tylersalt already did.
Will Matkap go into Swamp Palace though?
I don't know. It's one of those plays that it's really slow, so you don't blame anyone for not wanting to do it. And it may not even be required, like... So so if you're Tylersalt, the reason you would go... Oh, you can't even check the Link's House chest, that's funny. We talked about the mountain play, but what's really interesting about the mountain play, and why he might be doing this now before... There's two reasons he might want to do this now before doing Pod Eastern. One, he doesn't have a fire source. So beating the dungeon, even if the hammer shows up, not in logic without some sort of fire source. In particular, Pod logically requires the land. Eastern, unless the big key is vanilla, can be logically done with the fire rod. But we don't have either one of those. But also, like, for that hook shot to give him maximum value, a hammer behind that hook shot would be really good for Tylersalt.
Yeah, it would just be absolutely brilliant. We'll see. I mean, I'm just trying to think, where could the hammer be? I mean...
I'm East Death Mountain, Dark Death Mountain. I mean, Tylersalt has access to all of that, and that's exactly where he's headed. Not even gonna check Spec Rock Cave.
Yeah. I mean, there's also Eastern Palace, Pod, as we were talking about.
Yep.
None of our runners have gone to Catfish Ether, have they?
Nope. Oh yeah, and this is gonna be a really nice Death Mountain play for Tylersalt, because with this mirror, he can do a pretty efficient bit of routing here. Yeah, wants to mirror here and do Paradox Cave first.
So Matkap is doing the well, does have the purple chest. So Matkap, I'm just wondering if Matkap does Swamp now or not.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really good question. If the hammer's not behind this hookshot, Matkap not doing Swamp right now is fine. If the hammer is behind this hookshot and Matkap skips doing the Swamp check, that's going to be really big for Tylersalt.
Yeah. Nothing in the bottom of Paradox Cave so far.
Blue Cane, so now we have logical Spike Cave if we want it. Nothing in the light world unless it's in Spiral. But we still have 6 checks in the dark world.
Yep.
He's got the mirror out, so I think he's gonna get this... Okay, never mind. Never mind!
I mean, we just don't know at this stage.
I could still do it after Hype Cave. Like, it'd feel really bad if you went into Swamp Palace without the hammer, and then the hammer just showed up in Hype Cave. That'll be Tempered Sword for Matkap, so that's really nice for him. And there it is. Oh, wow. That is huge for Tylersalt. And Matkap is not going back for that hook shot. So, yeah, that dip of Swamp Palace require, because the only other way you're getting to the east side of the mountain is the hammer itself. You need the hook shot or the hammer, plus the mirror. And, yeah. That's... I mean, we have a lot of game left to play. A lot of things could happen. I mean, Turtle Rock's a crystal, so Ice Rod hunts are real. But,
yeah.
Huge advantage to Tylersalt right now.
I mean, the thing is that Matkap looks as though he's going right for pod right now, and the hammer isn't in pod, so it will be a double dip for Matkap.
Yeah. This is a perfectly good play for Matkap. I like it just fine. It just it's not going to work out for him. He's going to be able to full clear pod except Helmasaur, and he's going to be able to complete Eastern. He's gonna have to do it in the dark unless the fire rod shows up, because we just saw a lamp in Hookshot Cave. Tylersalt not doing either spiral or not doing spiral or Spike Cave, and quietly is now a TR starter package from Go Mode. And it's heading straight over to Swamp Palace.
I mean, yeah, there's a ton of dungeons that are clearable now. I mean, Eastern Palace, Desert Palace, Palace of Darkness, Swamp Palace.
Yeah, he can do everything but finish Mire and get into Turtle Rock. Because we don't care about Skullwoods with the Fire Rod. But Eastern Desert Pod, Swamp, all and Ice, all doable. Yeah. And as long as, like, even if Matkap finds these three things, you know, the three TR items, the Fire Rod, Ice Rod, and Canis Samaria in Pod Eastern, I mean, Tylersalt's going to get there relatively soon. Well, I don't know if he goes there now. I mean, he's going to do Swamp. I think it looks like he's trying to press the advantage of that hammer in the hook shot. So it makes sense to do Swamp here, and it would not surprise me if he did Ice Palace before heading to Pod Eastern. Or Desert, for that matter, which he can clear. Ice Palace, of course, without the Canis Samaria is kind of icky, so wouldn't surprise me if he chose not to do that as well.
So far, it doesn't...
Yeah, go ahead.
It doesn't appear as though there's anything in Eastern Palace on Matkap's side.
I mean, Matkap needs at least one of these things that's left to be somewhere bad. Like an Ice Rod in the back of Thieves Town, you know, a cane in Tower of Hera, you know, one of those things. Because if all these things are just in the dungeons, he has no way of catching up. I mean, he might be able to gain a little time on Tylersalt by not having to do left side swamp if Hammer ends up being his go mode. If it's kind of the same thing in Ice Palace. If Tylersalt chooses to clear Ice Palace without the Canis Samaria, that's another place where Matkap can potentially save time. But it's still in his best interest to have one of these last three items to be somewhere that Tylersalt's not going to find on path.
Yeah.
And not doing left side right away is Tylersalt. We'll see if he goes back for it. I have not seen whether he's picked... Oh, there's a map, so there's definitely something over there.
Yep. Matkap opening the big chest of Eastern Palace. I didn't see what it was. What was it?
Yeah, apparently we've gotten powder in the map chest for Matkap, which, you know, powders are a nice item. He can't... doing the bat check for Matkap is a huge undertaking, because you got to go into the dark world, you got to mirror and leave your portal behind and then do it there. So I don't know that he follows that right away.
Yeah. Okay, so Tylersalt is now facing off against Argus.
And here's another spot where Matkap can save a little time, because he's going to have Tempered Sword for this fight.
Yep.
There is a world in which Tylersalt doesn't even get a Tempered Sword, because if he gets to go mode Desert, then he doesn't get that sword there. We don't know where the fourth sword is going to be. And Tylersalt is going to have to watch that health down to 2 hearts, and I'm pretty certain his bottle has a B in it.
Yep. 1 silver arrow towards Argus, and that is Tylersalt's first crystal.
Yeah, we get
3326.
Double first crystals. Matkap getting his first crystal at Eastern slightly before.
Yep. And now Matkap is going into pod.
Okay, so decision time for Tylersalt. Does he go back into swamp? Nope. Does he go ice? Does he go pod? Does he go eastern? What does he do next? He's got the flute out.
I mean, pod eastern
Okay,
sounds
this
good.
is desert.
Yep. So, will Tylersalt get that third sword? I guess so.
Yeah, he's getting that third sword now for sure. And we'll be able to finish Desert Palace because he's got the lamp to get to the back. Probably doesn't enter Misery Mire. I think that's a... Without the Cane of Samaria, you've got like 3 dungeons you can full clear. I don't see the Mire dip.
I don't either. I'm just remembering, has anybody... I don't believe anybody's checked Agina's cave yet.
Matkap checked it when he was over here doing Desert the first time. I don't remember what was in there. Probably just a piece of heart. I mean, it's open hard. If you're not sure what an item is, just call it a piece of heart, and you're probably gonna be right at least like a third of the time.
Yeah, okay. Well, all the keys are, well, existent in Palace of Darkness. Yeah, at the moment they aren't pieces of heart, they're pieces of keys. I don't know.
Yeah, we should follow Matkap a little bit because we've already seen what's in desert until we get to the boss. Because there is an item on Landmo. Of course, the front of pod has got to have 4 small keys at least, so we're not getting anything new. We're not getting much new here yet. Kind of have to wait on it. Oh, there's an ice rod. Yeah. See, again, that's not good for Matkap. Tylersalt's not going to have a hard time finding that ice rod. So now down to 2 items that could be in bad locations that could get Matkap back in this race.
So Matkap is going to make his way towards the back of Palace of Darkness, and just trying to think. Yeah, so...
And the worst part is there aren't even that many... There's not that many bad locations left. There's the 2 items in the back of Thieves Town. There's Hera. We have, Spike and Spiral Cave are now bad locations for Tylersalt. Like, those are... Strangely enough, one of those, if Matkap could get a Fire Rod or a Cane of Samaria in one of those locations after he gets the hook shot, those would actually be really good locations for him, since Tylersalt could have done Spiral and didn't. Yeah. And, I mean, he could have done one or the other and just chose to do neither one. And of course, left side swamp being left behind by Tylersalt, so that ends up being a potential out for Matkap as well.
So, doesn't look as though there's anything on Matkap's side in Palace of Darkness.
Still a few checks left.
Yep. Dark Maze in the big chest. It seems as though Matkap is going to bomb jump towards the big chest here.
Yeah, if you can get this first try, I believe this is a little bit faster. We get a shovel.
Ooh, it's a fetch quest.
You said you didn't want fetch quests.
I was saying that in a tone of not liking fetch quests and talking about fetch quests. Not a book.
That could also be an out for Matkap, because I don't know when Tylersalt's going to get to that book and whether he's going to prioritize it. And there's that sad little half magic. And Cane of Samaria. Okay, so Fire Rod is the only thing left to be in a bad spot for Matkap. Tylersalt probably, let's see if he does Ice first or Pod Eastern first. He's going to do Checkerboard into Agina probably here.
Yeah.
And we know this is nothing. Yeah, so question in chat, where was Hookshot? Hookshot was first chest swamp, first chest hammerless swamp. Which led to the hammer on East Death Mountain, on Dark Death Mountain. So yeah. Which is why we're saying, right now we're no mode -1. And so Matkap here needs this Fire Rod that's left to be in a bad spot, because Tylersalt's going to get the Cane and the Ice Rod when he does Pod.
Nothing on Pyramid Ledge.
Catfish is a potential out for Matkap as well.
Yeah, if Catfish is the fire rod, I think that, yeah, I mean, that is our only out.
I mean, no, he just needs to get to the fire rod in a bad spot before Tylersalt finishes all the free dungeons he has. Because if he does Pod Eastern now, then he just does Ice Palace and Mire afterwards, because he has the items to do those dungeons. It's like he's gonna do Ice first. I mean, he doesn't know that the cane is just sitting waiting for him in Pod, so you know, Matkap will get to save a little bit of time when he gets to do Ice Palace. Just a piece of heart of Catfish.
And, well, the search for the fire rod continues.
Yeah, and, you know, this could be classic Rule of Fire, chat's favorite.
Fire, locked fire.
Yep. Because, I mean, after Tylersalt's done with Ice Palace, I can't imagine him doing anything but Pod Eastern. I think he's still trying to, you know, capitalize on that hammer advantage that he has. And that would be why you do this first, because he knows Pod would be available without the hammer, except for Helmosaur.
Well, I'm actually looking forward to a nice Palace Palm jump.
You know, I mean, there's a reason why you still have to learn it. Like, you know, I mean, in this case, it's not hard required, but it is useful. And Matkap's gonna do Mire, which is a good call for him. This is a dungeon he can clear.
Yeah.
You know, and after this, he's gonna have Hammerless Ice, Hammerless Swamp. Go back for the last items in Thieves Town again without a hammer. Sensing a theme here. But do Hera. You don't need the hammer. Do Hera because we have the mirror.
Yeah, I'm kind of getting the feeling that Matkap doesn't have a hammer at the moment.
He hasn't done any of Skull Woods. We know that's nothing, but that would also be available. If the fire rod shows up, he could get the green pendant, turn that in. And could check Ped. Ped won't have a fire rod, though.
Yeah, so Ped would be effectively dead in this seed.
It's dead. Let's see. It is dead. For us as viewers, we know it's nothing. I'm trying to think, like, for Tylersalt, it could still be a ice rod, for instance. Could it be the hammer? Yeah, kinda, sort of, yeah. Depending on where the small key is for Thieves Town. Could be the hook shot, though, for Matkap, so, you know, playing for Ped wouldn't be the dumbest thing ever.
Yeah.
If, again, the fire rod shows up, because we need that. So far, no fire rod for Tylersalt. But yeah, if Matkap starts committing to pendant dungeons and finds the fire rod on path, that's one of his possible outs to get back into the seed.
Yep. So yeah, I mean, both our runners are absolutely amazing. They're amazing runners, amazing people. Make sure to give them a follow. You know, I sure enjoy seeing what they're doing right now and hoping for that fire rod. Where is the fire rod?
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, Matkap gonna full clear Mire, and if the fire rod's here, it's just bad for him.
And yes, answering chat, Tyler did skip left side swamp, so
yeah, that's another one of Matkap's outs. It's kind of a ickier out for him, just because ideally, for him to come back, finding a fire rod in a location that Tylersalt's just gonna miss, and is gonna miss for a long, you know, like by the time for Matkap to be able to capitalize on a left side swamp situation, he still has to get that hook shot in swamp. Like, he has to do that eventually anyway. But if he last locations the hook shot in swamp and then gets the hammer and then goes back, it might be too late even if the fire rod is there. By then, Tylersalt might have gone back.
Yeah.
I think his best shot, honestly, is again the start clearing pendant dungeons. Also of note, can't even full clear Misery Mire because no fire source to get the left side. I don't know if he got both items though.
I definitely saw one on Matkap's side, but I couldn't say about both.
Looks like he has 3 keys, so chances are it's that makes it a little more likely that the item there's an item on Vitreous. Small key can't be on the left side unless there's a big key there as well.
So yeah, well, we're gonna get some boss battles here. Tylersalt facing off against Cold Stare, defeated all 3 of them, pushing them into a corner and just hitting them with the tempered sword.
Oh, there's a free sword if you miss the other ones. Thanks, Cold Stare.
So Matkap is now facing off against Vitreous, defeating all the mini eyeballs, and Vitreous is down. Vitreous giving the fire rod.
That's terrible from Matkap. That is absolutely that does not work at all. Tylersalt has one more flippers check, and then there's no way he doesn't just start clearing the rest of the dungeons. He's gonna get his ice rod and his cane in pod, then he just takes that to Mire and gets a free fire rod. Whereas Matkap still has to get back into swamp to get the hook shot, to go back to the mountain to get the hammer. We'll have hammer go mode, so yay. I mean, it's everything else was available without it. But he's got so many other choices that he could make. Well, if he goes straight into swamp from here, then I think he still has a shot. But I agree with Gamachu in chat that he goes Ice Palace first, because Ice Palace potentially you can get all 3 items depending on the layout, whereas swamp you just literally have one chest, and that one chest could theoretically just be a map. Oh, and Tylersalt, it looks like I assume we'll do pod first. I mean, he doesn't have to. Like, there's no big difference between doing pod first and Eastern first, but for him, doing pod first means you get go mode Eastern. I don't recall where the big key was in Eastern, but if it's not vanilla, then you just get to skip the Eastern big key chest.
I mean, I couldn't remember specifically, but I think it might have even been the first chest.
Yeah.
And yeah, Lemmo is down on Matkap's side, and that is Matkap's 3rd crystal.
Yep, that sad little half magic marker.
Yeah, it's almost as if the half magic itself has been cursed.
Yeah. Magic Bat just, reaching out into the dark world and cursing that half magic, or reaching out into, well, in this case it's the light world. Let's see if Tylersalt does do pod first. I mean, it's 5 items versus 3, so it makes a certain amount of sense. And Matkap going to the Dark World here says this is a Skullwoods or a go back into Thieves Town play. Skullwoods feels a little more likely just because Thieves Town could still be hammerlocked.
Yeah.
And that's what he wants the most. It's not what he's going to get, but it is the thing he wants the most.
So yeah, currently, Matkap has, checked Palace of Darkness, has been in Eastern Palace, has cleared Misery Mire, whilst Tylersalt found the hook shot in Swamp Palace, leading to the hammer up the mountain, and is now doing Palace of Darkness, while there's a ton of items really in Palace of Darkness.
Yep.
I believe the Ice Rod and the Cane of Samaria.
Ice Rod is over on the right side here. Cane of Samaria is in the Dark Maze. He's going to find both of those. And actually, he's not going to be able to go mode Eastern, because he's still going to be looking for that Fire Rod.
Yeah. So, people are asking, where was Lamp? Lamp was Hookshot Cave.
Yeah, I think Matkap's gonna miss Lamp, but he'll be fine. He's got Fire Rod. And my biggest issue not having a lamp is if I have to do Silverless without a lamp. Especially when we're not very, it's hard mode, so we don't get a lot of magic.
Yeah.
But we have silver, so that's not an issue. Yeah, we're gonna get a ped check here.
Yep, Matkap going through the Sacred Forest Meadow, and
I mean,
guess
again,
what it is? Guess what it is?
If you're not sure what something is, guess piece of heart, because there's 48 of them. But he's probably gonna finish this dungeon just for the green pendant, which I think is, in his position, I think it's a fine play.
Yeah, I mean, it's a possible item that Tylersalt hasn't found. Yeah, at this stage, it makes sense for Matkap to do some checks that are a bit out of the way.
Yep.
Trying to hope that Tylersalt hasn't found one that is out of the way effectively, because a lot of the checks that Matkap has are already done. So Matkap versus Mothula. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sword swipes, as much as my count. Mothula.
I mean, the spikes will do that to you. those darn spikes. If you hit Moth at the same time as the spike, because Moth doesn't take damage from spikes, the iframes from the spikes will override your sword, which is really, really annoying.
It really, really is.
Looks like Tylersalt also can do this bomb jump.
Yep.
Doesn't really need to, but again, if you can get it first try, it's going to be faster. One pixel too high, 2 pixels too low. There, that looked good. For anyone that might be new to the hammer jump there, the way I set it up is you compare the menu screen, and there's some tells you can do for the menu screen on the left side of the room. That one's a little harder to describe. The easier one to describe is in the second spot where you're trying to line up where the bomb is. You want to see the full shadow of the bomb, but no pixels of the bomb. So you'll see it'll be 3 pixels of it will be the shadow, and then the 4th pixel would start showing you the bomb. And that's what you're looking for on that second part.
Yeah, Tylersalt has now gotten the Cane of Samaria. It's just the Fire Rod left for Tylersalt. Yep.
And if all he needs to do to get that is clear Mire. Now he might full clear Mire. I think the big key was somewhat early. It's not a bad play when you're go -1 to just go to the boss. And then decide after that, because you're in a situation. If you're Tylersalt, your situation is, I'm going into Mire, I get the big key, I can just finish the dungeon, and then I have my choice of awful checks at that point. And maybe you go and maybe you don't.
Matkap is now going for the green pendant turn-in, so...
Yep, you got nothing else in Skull Woods. You want to see if this is paid off.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think. There's only the cape, and that wouldn't even help our runners. Like, in having everything else, it's a piece of art.
Like everything else. And this is going to be... This could be Swamp? No. This is Hyrule Castle. I mean, never feels good to be doing this at 53 minutes. But you also know that there's a good chance your opponent didn't do it early either, so... This would be another one of those locations that if had the Fire Rod, or whichever of the Turtle Rock items had been here, could have been really good for Matkap.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Chad asking where the Fire Rod was. The Fire Rod is on Vitreous, which Tylersalt is going to do after he's done with Pot Eastern.
Yeah, it's more than likely that Tylersalt will just finish Misery Mire because Tylersalt can. So, well, we'll just have to see. But
I mean,
is Tylersalt.
even if he full clears it, and Matkap's next check after Hyrule Castle is Swamp, I don't think there's enough time for Matkap to catch up. Like, this is going to be, you know, Tausalt's going to full clear Eastern. The only thing he's going to get out of this is a safety powder, which is, you know, really nice to have in hard mode because you get your nice refill at the top of GT. But that's all he's getting here. And then there's no reason he doesn't just head straight to Misery Mire. Like, the only reason why he even does Eastern before Mire here is because you're right here. You know, you've got a dungeon right here that you can do, whereas Mire, you'd float away and have to come back to Eastern. So
Yeah.
So he's not going to be in go mode for another few minutes, but Matkap, to get into go mode, he needs to first go into hammerless, hookless Swamp Palace, get the hook shot out of the first chest, take that straight to the mountain, and get his hammer in Super Bunny Cave.
I mean, that location.
That's such a tough call.
Shot.
Like, if you don't do it when Tylersalt did it, which was when he was, you know, clearing South Dark World, when do you do it?
The only time that I think of, although Matkap is exhausting all other checks, is to put it with Bombo's tablet, because Matkap currently has the book.
Yeah, and I see we're getting a bunch of new people. Maybe there's like 2 other races going on at about the same time, so only one of those finished. To sort of recap the big part of this, so the runners kind of did very similar things early on. The big turning point was Tylersalt decided to take his mirror and his flippers and do the first chest of Swamp. And the first chest of Swamp had a hook shot. So he takes that hook shot up to the mountain and gets a hammer on Dark Death Mountain, I believe in Super Bunny Cave. So hard required hook shot to get to that hammer. So hard required double dip into Swamp. And Matkap did not do that, which is perfectly understandable. I mean, it's one check that could just as easily have been a map or a compass, and is now on the hunt for a hook shot and a hammer, and it just is not in the right place to find it.
So what is the tablet? Just 5 rupees.
Yep, and 5 rupees is a representative of a lot of the items that are out of the pool, so it might have been one of those things too, but in the end it doesn't really matter, because those aren't logical anyway. Tylersalt now done with Eastern, and Matkap making the play into Hera, and he's doing all the things, you know, because we talked about this earlier, when he was still looking for the, what I call kind of this Turtle Rock starter kit. Because, you know, it was the Ice Rod, Fire Rod, Canis, and Aria. If any one of those items had been in one of these out-of-the-way places, he'd still very much be in this, because Tylersalt was going to do all these on-path things first.
Yeah.
But then as Matkap ran into those items one at a time, before Tylersalt could, you know, while Tylersalt was doing the other dungeons, it just ended up being really bad for Matkap, who's now on this awful hammer hookshot hunt.
So yeah, Tylersalt in Misery Mire, going to be completing it. Matkap is in Tower of Hera. I believe there might be an item in Hera basement.
We definitely haven't seen both items, because he'd leave otherwise, because he knows there's nothing on Ped. Oh,
Yeah.
didn't quite get the line up to not fall down there. Okay, so I'm going to pay a little better attention to where this big key is for Tylersalt, and we'll see if he full clears Mire or not. Because we didn't even see the left side from Matkap, because at the time he didn't have a fire source.
And the
Just
piece of
of
heart.
heart. Okay. Small key on the spikes. So the big key had to have been over here through that key door. Because Matkap wouldn't be able to finish this if the big key had been over here on the left side. We'll see if Tylersalt chooses to do the cutscene chest. I imagine not. It's already really slow, and now you don't have a fire rod to do it with.
Yeah. So Matkap is checking her basement now.
So a question about half magic. Half magic essentially doesn't exist. Technically, half magic was on Landmo, but it was just a sad little refill pot. Okay, there's... Oh, right, I forgot about this, the bridge chest here. So that's the big key. It looks like Tylersalt is going to just take this to the boss. Oh, no, he's not. He's going to do big chest and the other chest over here first. We know those are nothing.
Yeah.
He's gotten one small key. So... That's a small key. Yes, these should both be small keys. Yep. So now the item, he knows that the item and whichever we didn't find, map or compass, because I can never keep those two straight. One's on cutscene, the other one's on Vitreous, and he says, you know what, I'm going to bet on Vitreous. And he doesn't know it, but it's the right decision. And poor Matkap is going to head, as expected, is heading over to Hammerless Ice before heading over to Hammerless Swamp.
Yep. Well, at least when Matkap goes over to Swamp,
yeah, he's got a hard last. Yeah,
hook shot.
Hard last location, that hook shot.
So yeah, Tylersalt is in Misery Mire going through the dark rooms of it, whilst Matkap has just made his way into Ice Palace, facing off against those Pengators there.
That small key is nice for him because now he can do an icebreaker here without having to worry about being stuck. Because without the hammer, you can't get the key under the pot. And does get an extra check here, which can't be hammer, but could have been hookshot theoretically, depending on key layout.
Yeah.
Tylersalt is going to have a very quick Vitreous fight because we have silver arrows.
Yep, all small eyeballs are gone, and that is Vitreous down.
And then go mode for Tylersalt now at 101.50.
Yep, just Turtle Rock left on Tylersalt's side.
Yep. I mean, Turtle Rock's a terrible dungeon to go mode. He's not going to save a ton of time in there, but, you know, is going to be able to do it relatively quickly. Actually, Matkap does have one other choice besides going into Swamp after this, and that's, we still haven't seen what's in the back of Thieves Town.
Yep, we still haven't seen what is in the back of Thieves Town.
The thing in his favor for going back to Swamp first is, of course, Thieves Town could just be hammer-locked. The only way a hammer could be in there is if it's in the maiden cell, or if the small key is in the maiden cell. So Swamp is probably your better bet.
Yeah.
Again, of course, hookshot isn't quite as limited as that, but then, if the hookshot is hammer-locked by Thieves Town small key logic, then hookshot's not leaned to hammer. So I still think this may very well be, go to Swamp Palace just because of that logic. But no, we're seeing a flute to 3. I think this is Thieves Town.
Yeah, it is sad for Matkap seeing this, but there is a possibility for the hookshot or hammer to be in Thieves Town here, so it makes perfect sense.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if he did find a hookshot here and it was hammerlock, that tells him a lot about where to go. But I mean, we're not. That's not what's gonna happen here, and there really isn't. Like, there's nowhere else left, so it'd still be go to first chest swamp after that. Meanwhile, Tylersalt entering Turtle Rock.
Yep. And it is go mode Turtle Rock. I don't see much of how the routing will change throughout all of this. I mean, save a little bit of time, although both runners will by not checking Mimic Cave.
Yeah, we're not gonna check Mimic Cave. We're probably gonna steal the Poke Key and take the less than 5% chance of the key layout being bad.
Yep, so Tylersalt is lighting up the torches in the torch room of Turtle Rock. And there's a big key and a map on the right side of Turtle Rock.
Yep. Meantime, we'll see if there's any... I mean, I don't even know what else would be interesting to find here in... Yeah, that's a map in the... up there, so we still could have logical access. That small key could still be in the main cell.
I mean, the bug net. We haven't seen that yet.
Yay.
You don't
This
sound
isn't
too
swordless.
happy about the bug net.
Because it's not swordless, it's useless. And fairies revive me when I'm trying to death warp a lot more often than they save my life, so. Yeah, I'll be interested to see. I mean, chat saying leave the small keys in the main cell, except that it still could theoretically be the hook shot, I guess. But I tend to agree. And Matkap is going to take that chance that the hookshot's just sitting there on blind. And, you know, maybe, this does mean the small key is in the big chest, so he's not leaving an item behind, which, I mean, if it was, it couldn't be hammer anyway, it could only be hookshot.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I still can't believe that the hookshot was in Hammerless Swamp.
Well, and it led to the hammer, yeah.
Which means that all access to East Death Mountain
Goes
is
through the
locked.
hookshot.
Yeah. And I believe Matkap found the Sanctuary Heart, defeating Blind before getting his blue pendant.
Yep, and Pet is, we already know Pet is a piece of heart, so he's not gonna go pull that. And at this point, I don't think he's got anything left but the first chest of swamp.
Dig Spot and Bombos Tablet, I believe.
All right, yeah, we did get a shovel at some point. And we did get that book, so those are definitely possibilities. And I imagine maybe he does both. Well, it looks like he's not doing the dig spot. It has the mirror out, so okay, mirror out could mean any of those 3 locations. Never mind. It could, yeah, he's gonna do Bombos first. Okay, yeah, chat saying he checked the dig spot, which makes sense, because he's had that shovel for a while.
So Tylersalt is going through the chests on Laser Bridge, looking for that small key.
Yeah, there's really nothing else he could find, though, to be... I mean, the cape is the only sort of luxury item left to find, and he doesn't really need that anyway, so...
Yep.
He does have the powder. I know it's not marked there. It's really not a big deal, but does have that as a luxury item for the GT climb.
Yeah. Just thinking, because basically Tylersalt won't be going up the mountain, are we okay starting the GT Big Key guessing game as
Yeah,
soon
if you want to, yeah,
enters
you
it?
are in charge of that. You can start that whenever you want.
So, Tylersalt has now entered the Trinex boss room. Get your guesses in chat for where you think the Ganon's Tower boss key is going to be. between the guesses of 1 and 22. And do this before Tylersalt enters GT, as, Tylersalt is on to the final phase of Trinex.
Yeah, Matkap is about to get that sad little hook shot.
And that is Trinex down. And Tylersalt's 7th crystal.
Yep, and you know, the sad part about that hook shot is not even go mode. Like, okay, now I gotta take this somewhere. You know, and if you're Matkap, you're just hoping that your opponent refused to do that location as well. But you know, you're never in a good position when you're hoping that your opponent also made the same last location that you did.
So Tylersalt dashing past the bridge, opening up Ganon's tower with 7 crystals. The stairway is opening. The way that was once shut is now open. Mate.
You make it sound so epic.
Thank you. And guesses are over. Do you want to do evens and I'll do odds?
I'm not sure what you mean. I just count or count badly or do math at the end because I counted badly.
Check number 1 is 5 rupees, so check number 2 is even, so that's why I was asking you, do you want to say what check number 2 is?
No. You can continue or I can continue. I don't. Yeah.
I'll do it. Chest number 2, 10 arrows. Chest number 3, a small key. Chest number 4, a small key. Chest number 5, 20 rupees.
I think we're gonna. No, we're not mirroring out. That's interesting.
Tylersalt using ether.
Are we going full right? Sorry, full left. Not even doing hopefully.
Yes.
I don't think. I can't remember the last. Or this could be Rando Rush. That's I know I've seen Koi do this a lot. I don't know if Tylersalt is a Rando Rush fan.
Number 6 being 20 rupees. Yeah. I was then thinking for a second.
Chat asking for tile room. Come on.
Why am I not surprised that chat?
I mean,
is
somebody
asking
has
for
to.
it?
Somebody has to want to curse the runners with tile room.
So let me think. We've been on chest number 6.
And there's go mode for Matkap. He doesn't even bother to open the other chest. There's really nothing else he could want other than the lamp, which he's now not going to get. Looks like he was thinking in terms of just going into Turtle Rock. He could certainly choose to do so, but I mean, in the end, it doesn't matter. Just needs to go mode 3 dungeons that he's already done parts of. So.
Chest number 7, a piece of heart. Chest number 8 is the big key. Congratulations to whoever guessed chest number 8.
Yeah, Rando Rush pays off for Tylersalt. Although I don't know if he was going to mirror out of there if he hadn't found the big key.
So yeah, I mean, well, in all fairness, I shouldn't be saying who won on this, but I can see 2 winners here.
Go for it.
Well, so congratulations, Hoop Scallions, and congratulations, Goron1988.
I had a feeling. I mean, all you get is bragging rights, so you know.
Both
those are real.
getting bragging rights and
Harder bragging rights.
Yeah. I also want to say congratulations, Hoop Scallions, for guessing the same number as me. I'm sure you're a very, very amazing person. Well, everybody get your free rando seeds for life. And yeah, I guessed right. I'm happy, okay?
No, there's nothing wrong with that. Meantime, we have Tylersalt in the climb, in the gauntlet. Gotta grab that little extra bit of magic there.
Yeah, Tylersalt is Well, I've heard the name before. Is it Zigzags or something? Zigzags? Defeating those? I'm trying to
Oh,
learn.
Zazax. Zazax. Those are the little horsey
Zazax.
guys.
Okay.
And they're gone now, so we never have to think about them again until the next race.
Yep. Until the next race. Tylersalt facing off against Lambo 2. 1, 2, 3 silver arrows, and Lambo 2 is gone.
Nicely done.
So Tylersalt going up the stairs, facing off against the Wizrobes.
They never had a chance.
They really did never have a chance. And now Tylersalt evading, well, evading the laser beams, facing off against 4 Wizropes who also never had a chance. Going past the guards and into the first torch room. So that's 1, 2, 3, and Tylersalt switching to his fire rod. 4 lamps lit. First lamp room is done in GT. Tylersalt climbing up those stairs. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and that is the second torch room.
Does need to grab a key here.
Yep.
Doesn't need. There's again, like, the only thing even possibly worth any value that could be up in those chests is again a cape, but he doesn't need that.
Yep.
Anything else would be a complete waste of time. Frankly, the cape would be a waste of time for him at this point.
Tylersalt against Moldorm 2, whilst Matkap has defeated Argus, grabbing that compass. So that is Matkap's, well, 4th crystal?
Yep. Just yeah, Pod, Ice, and Turtle Rock to go. And Pod and Ice will be fairly quick because he's already done most of them. And of course, Turtle Rock would be the same as Tylersalt.
Yeah. Tylersalt rushing up the stairs, opening the room to Aghanim 2. Aghanim splits into 3 and shoots off powerful blasts towards Tylersalt. Tylersalt reflecting them. I believe that's a 1. And then that's 2, 3. One of those attacks not being reflectable. 4, 5.
Oh, that's a good setup for the last one. Until you mess it up.
Oh, and he doesn't get it, yeah.
There we go.
And that is 6 hits on Aghanim 2 for Tylersalt. Aghanim 2 is dead, but an ominous presence emerges from Aghanim 2, turning into a bat form. Flying off, Tylersalt summons his faithful companion and flies down to the pyramid. As Tylersalt falls into the room with Ganon. Ganon giving some trivia there. Tylersalt giving a few sword spins. Gets hit by that trident. Spins a few more times. Does some sword slashes on Ganon. And I believe Ganon is now in phase 2.
Yep. And Tylersalt gets him in that really nice spot where you can just kind of sit there and spin your sword a few times to finish off a 1-in-1.
So, Tylersalt on phase 3 of Ganon. Ganon stomping the ground once, teleporting away quite a few times. 2 hits on Tylersalt's side. 3. And it's nearly the end of phase 3. As Ganon desperately teleports away. And he says, "Oh no, Silver, my true weakness." As Tylersalt...
Yeah, you know, making the mistake that every bad guy ever makes, right?
True.
Hi, this is how you kill me.
And that is Ganon down. Get your GGs ready for Tylersalt.
Yeah, he'll finish with an official race time of 1:18:32. Very nicely done for Tylersalt. basically needed this win to stay in contention for brackets. So GG's to Tylersalt. Well done.
Yeah. Well, GG's to Tylersalt. Oh, and welcome, Tylersalt. GG's.
Thank you, GG's.
Whew.
Okay, so is that a play you normally do? Because I mean, I'm sure you guys have discussed it by now, but the difference in the race is you got that hook shot, and Matkap last locationed it.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know that I'll say usually, but with the way that the items fell, right, and getting the flippers right there in purple chest, like immediately next door, I was like, you know what the heck, right? Matkap is a great runner. I figured I needed to take like some swings and some plays to get an advantage, and so I did, and it paid out big time. So
Yeah, and what I really liked is that not only did you get that hook shot, you kept pushing it.
Yeah.
By first, getting the hammer on East Death Mountain, which, if the hammer had been elsewhere, then that hook shot isn't nearly as big a deal.
Yeah.
Because hookless swamp is bad, but hammerless swamp is worse, right?
Right, exactly.
And then even to the point of your dungeon clearing is like, you just avoid it. I mean, if you had done Pod Eastern sooner, then yeah, you probably finish a little bit faster. But it just made sense to just keep pushing that advantage that you had.
Yeah, the Pod in Eastern had all of those fetch quests, right?
Mhm.
Like the shovel was there, the powder
Yep.
was there.
Yep.
So I was just like, oh man, the book was there.
Yep.
Book.
But it also had Ice Rod and Cane of Samaria, so
Yeah,
in Pod.
Yeah. So yeah, I might have gone a little bit faster, but I wanted to push the hammer as hard as I could, or the hook shot of the hammer as hard as I could. Yeah, I got no complaints.
Yeah, it looks like we also have Matkap about to join us, so if he wants to just hop right in, please feel free to do so.
Yeah.
In the meantime, I know you needed this win to stay in it, so
I sure did. we were joking around, or I was joking around in the hey, GG's Matkap.
Hello, GG's the Tyler. Hello, everyone.
Yeah, GG's Matkap.
I was joking in the thing. I was just like, hey, listen, this is your second match. Like, I was, I need this to stay alive. You could just forfeit if you wanted. And we would be able to just throw shit in. Matkap, of course, did not take me up on that offer. But yeah, I knew that I had to take a swing here or there and play aggressively to have a shot. And so I'm glad I put it together.
Yeah, and in Matkap, in your case, as you know, the difference was Tyler got to the hook shot in Swamp early. You last locationed it. Every time, as the items kept coming up, it's like, no, we need one of those items to be somewhere bad, right? Because you just kept getting good items, because you got the cane, you got the ice rod, and you got the fire rod, and those are all going to be just on path for Tylersalt at that point. You need something in a bad spot, and it just... when Fire Rod dropped on video, we're like, yeah, there's nothing left for no more outs for you.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't know. I mean, obviously with where the hook shot was, I don't think it really matters. I don't really like how you played it. Like, if the hook shot was just like in Scape,
yep,
or in the front of Schoolwoods, like the outcome would have been pretty much the same. I think, to be honest. So I don't know. I thought about going back to the book, but like after Pod or something like that, where it's only 2 techs, and I don't know. Obviously, you always kind of think of going into Swamp, but especially with the bow, I think like going to Eastern and Pod feels really good at that point.
Yeah. I mean, you got items that take you. Tyler talked about getting the flippers, telling him to go into Swamp Palace, but the flippers also get you access to East Dark World, and Pod 6 items, and you have a bow, so I mean it totally makes sense to do those plays.
And I was directly headed there after Hype Cave, right? If I don't luck into that hook shot, right? Like that was the clear next play. I was like, I'll take a second and do this, because if something is here, then this is a big advantage.
Right.
But I think that was obviously I don't know. I like to talk about rando decisions being judged on two independent axes, right? They're whether they are right or wrong, and whether they are good or bad, and those are different things, right?
They are different things.
And I, going into that might have been a bad play, right? Or at least not a good play, but it was definitely the right one. And I think that I needed to take a couple swings on things that were out of the way that I figured that Matkap was unlikely to do in order to have a shot. So.
See, he was sufficiently scared of you, Matkap, to make a play like that. So.
Yeah, I don't know.
I guess says something about you as a player.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not like I never do it, but I don't know. Like seeing some of I haven't been able to watch everything, but like seeing some of Tyler's previous races, I think he's been playing like really aggressive. So that's why I maybe try to like skip some things and try to play it a bit aggressive myself. I don't really think at that point you're going into swamp. I don't know, because it's like so much time for only one check. Like I think a big gamble usually involves like going to a pendant dungeon. I don't know, going somewhere earlier with more options, something like that. I don't know. Sometimes it just pays out. And I don't know. At least it wasn't like in left side Mire, because I kind of forgot about that.
Well, you couldn't do left. You didn't have a fire source when you got to Mire.
I did when I killed Beatrice. That's the thing, and I didn't realize it.
Right, you could have gone back in. That's true. You're right. And guess what was there?
After.
It was a heart piece. It was a heart piece because everything's a heart piece.
And like I was getting really mad to Swamp, like really mad, because it was like, okay, like at this point, if this is all not in logic, like there's a really big chance it's just Balilham in Swamp. And that would have felt really bad after doing Mire and everything. So I don't know. At least it wasn't that.
But yeah, definitely an interesting one to call, and a nice play, nice run for you, Tyler and Matkap. You certainly acquitted yourself well. If things had been a little bit different, things would have been different. I'm not sure how to say that other than the obvious, but it was definitely a good matchup. So. I know you've only played a couple matches, Matkap, so good luck on your last 4, I guess. Is that right?
Yeah, I've got 4 matches to go, a long week to go. So yeah, you have been a bit busy, unfortunately, but yeah, let's hope it goes a bit better. Like you can't really think. I mean, there's always some play that you're gonna lose, Like you can't really
absolutely.
Everything. So
you can't cover everything, right?
Yeah, it must have been really exciting for Tyler.
I was very excited. Yes.
I will just be happy with you for him, because that's really cool.
There you go. And Tyler, you've got one more to go, and I think that's also going to be a must-win for you to have any real shot.
Yeah,
so good luck there.
And it's against GGW, so good luck to me. I'm gonna need.
Definitely good luck to you.
He beat me in our first race only by like 20 seconds, so I know.
See, there you go.
So I know I can do it. It's just a question of putting it all together.
Absolutely.
But this was, I've said this was my first tournament. Qualifying was my goal, and so every win is absolute gravy. So I'm just happy to be here, as they say.
All right. Anything else either one of you want to add before we close this out?
Now, GG's Matkap, if you want to do like an unofficial Game 3 rubber match, I am happy whenever.
Let's see how the week goes. Yeah, thank you.
It doesn't need to be right now, just whenever.
Yeah, sure, it'll be fun. Yeah, thank you so much for everyone for reaching. Yeah, let's hope the races go better, and good luck to everyone.
Yeah, and good luck to the rest of yours.
All right. Well, that's pretty much going to do it for us. We do have more races on the schedule. At 7 o'clock, we have a Group T matchup between Average Frustrated Gamer and Obscure Lifeform over on SpeedGaming 2. At 9 o'clock, at 9:10, we have Norsk Maddie versus Ninjembro. That'll be over on SpeedGaming Main. And at 10:10 Eastern, we have over on the ALTTP randomizer channel, we have GFE versus JJo. So that'll be among the races, the rest of the races on tonight. Nothing really yet decided as far as the schedule tomorrow, so keep an eye out for that. But yeah, Goron. First time this year, but good to con with you again. So it was absolutely a pleasure.
Yes, same to you too, Tracy.
And of course, we had on our tracking, we had Kif. Clicking those buttons behind the scenes. Truckers always are MVPs. Thank you to Kif for doing that for us, because we'd be lost without our trackers. They are needed. So huge shout outs there. And Goran, why don't you go ahead and close us out?
Yeah, well, just absolutely brilliant to watch this match. Thank you, Tylersalt and Matkap, for allowing yourselves to be restreamed. And again, brilliant runners, brilliant people. Make sure you give them a follow. Thank you again, Tracy, for co-comming with me. It's been a pleasure and it's been fun. And well, thank you, Kif, for tracking, because without you, I don't think I'd know which item was which or what was even going on. Yeah, and thanks to SpeedGaming for putting this all up. Again, make sure that you followed ALTTPR 1 to 6 and SpeedGaming 1 to 5 to see more of this tournament. And as Tracy has said, there's more races to come. So take care, everybody.
Thanks, chat.